How's it going, everybody? For today's beer review, we're going to be taking a look at the Bruery's Tart of Darkness, a sour stout aged in oak barrels. So here we have something that I've been very curious about for quite some time. This is going to be an interesting beer review for me for a multitude of reasons. A, because this is my first beer from the Bruery, and now these guys are legendary. They have some pretty insane beers out there, especially like their, I think it's called Black Tuesday beer, which is just super hard to get your hands on. This is their Tart of Darkness, and what it says here is it is an unfiltered and bottle-conditioned sour stout aged in oak barrels. It says, with a roasty aroma and a tart finish, this sour black ale is a contortion of style and flavor, creating an unexpected delight. It comes in at 7% alcohol by volume, which is a decent ABV. It could be a little higher, but it's definitely not low either. What's interesting is, I was looking at the label, this is the 2013 edition, making this effectively up to almost 2 years old. And it says on the back label here, Tart of Darkness is suitable for aging up to 3 years when cellared properly. Best stored and cellared around 55 degrees. Ideal serving temperature is 50 degrees. Please pour carefully, leaving the yeast sediment behind in the bottle. Best served in a tulip or wine glass. So that would put this right where it needs to be. It's got about close to 2 years on it. 3 is the max, so it's right where I would say the sweet spot is. I don't know what to expect from this. I'm expecting maybe like a sour. It might have like some cherry and some other kind of tart fruits in it. But there might also be like some malt or some chocolate from it being a stout per se. I really don't know what we're getting into. As it says on the back, we will be drinking it out of a tulip glass, or in this case, the Duvel Snifter glass. So I'm going to take this cap off really carefully because it's a really cool cap on it, and I do not have a cap from the Bruery. Now, even if this beer is not amazing, I'm definitely not going to let it put a bad taste in my mouth about this Bruery, strictly because I know these guys have got wicked, crazy stuff. But let's see what this one's like. Alright, straight out, the color pours. Quite dark brown, kind of like a mahogany brown straight out of the bottle. Seems to have a pretty low head potential, so I'm going to pour this really aggressive here. From the sound of it, it's very carbonated. Formed about a half finger of just light to medium light tan colored head. It is very quickly dissipating. The bubbles are popping rapidly, and it's already about to subside down to just a film. Holding this one up into the light, it appears pitch black, but it has some of the most absolute dark ruby mahogany tones that you can possibly imagine right on the very edges. Barely perceivable to the human eye. You'd have to have a really bright light to really see through this. But it is not actually 100% pitch black. It is just ridiculously dark ruby and mahogany brown. As far as smell goes, definitely not what I was expecting by the description of stout at all, but it's not bad. It's got a ton of black cherry, perhaps white grape, kind of a tart acidity to it, like an acid kind of wine-ish sort of acidity. You might find extremely, extremely light touches of vanilla, caramel, brown sugar, malt, and chocolate. But those all kind of go together into this one just very, very faint, distant smell. The main thing up front is just this very acidic grape and black cherry sort of smell. I have no idea what to expect from this, so let's go ahead and give it a taste and just see what we're getting ourselves into. That's weird. This reminds me a lot of a Belgian sour, but it does kind of have some maltiness on the back end of the beer. Up front, it's a very sharp, acidic, vinegary, tart, black cherry and grape. And there is just a slight touch of malt on the back end, unfortunately. When that acidic tart kind of wine note mixes in with that kind of chocolatey malt, it creates what I can only describe as soy sauce, or perhaps even Worcestershire sauce. This reminds me kind of a beer I had once called Duchess de Bourgogne, I think is how it's pronounced. I think what I've come to learn from this is that I'm just not into sour beers. They're not really my thing. That being said, I don't really feel comfortable giving this a score in the style because it's a style that I don't really know much about, and I don't care to know much about, because from what I've had from it, it is not my thing. My own personal score, disgusting. There's no way I'm going to be able to finish this entire bottle. This thing gets really high marks online, and so I know there's probably this huge cult following for it. And I don't like to say that a beer is disgusting because I don't like it. I think there are people out there who would be really, really into this brew, but this is just not my thing. Those are accurate tastes, though. That is what I am tasting, and that's unbiased. So if that sounds like your thing, go for it. It's definitely not my thing. This will be an eye-opening experience for me. Definitely will be a lot more leery of things that describe themselves as sour. I just have this weird Worcestershire soy sauce taste going on in my mouth right now, and it is not okay with me. So that's been my little delve into the Bruery's Tart of Darkness. I'll definitely give these guys other beers a shot because they just have this crazy reputation that precedes them, and I know that they're a really good brewery, and I think this is just kind of like something that they don't do too often, probably. I'd like to try their stouts and stuff, but anyway, that has been my review of Tart of Darkness. Hope you guys enjoyed the beer review as always, and stay tuned for the next one.